Hey everybody, welcome back. We have CNN News Night with Abby Phillip, our typical roundtable. We have some of the usual suspects and some new folks. And the subject is the Epstein files, the Epstein case, the economy, and whether or not anybody cares. So we are going to watch and dig in and see if there's any madness to report on.
What they care about, look at the American economy right now. A lot of people had a lot of mistrust on the tariff issue. Economy's on fire. Indexes all-time highs. Every country on earth wants to cut a deal with America. The average person at the kitchen table is not worrying about Epstein. Don't give a damn. They want to provide for their family, and they are. America's working.
So
this is the American.
So hold on. Let me just say,
working.
Jerome Powell just announced that he's going to hold off on cutting interest rates again
Who
because
cares?
of the tariffs, and we've already started to see the inflationary pressures.
We have a lot
associated with
more
those
on the
tariffs.
economy later in the show, but just one thing that you said, Kevin, that I think is,
Epstein's alive?
No. There are two aspects of it. I mean, I think on
So this guy, Kevin O'Leary, he's if you watch the show The Shark Tank, he's a Trump guy, he's a Trump supporter, and he's arguing that nobody cares about the Epstein files, certainly because Trump is somehow tangentially or peripherally implicated in those Epstein files, and he's a Trump guy, so he doesn't want people to talk about it. And his big thing is to say, well, Epstein's dead, so since Epstein's dead, we don't have to worry about it, and he's always going to interject that in. I've seen him do this before, where if people are talking about Epstein, he'll say, well, Epstein's dead and we can't bring him back from the grave, so we don't need to worry about it. But he's, in a way, contradicting himself because he's saying, we don't give a damn about Epstein because the average person on the kitchen table, they're concerned about the economy and their money. And America's doing great. The economy's thriving. People have money. But if the economy's fine and we don't have to worry about it, wouldn't that pique interest in other things like the Epstein files? His fake argument would hold more water if he were to say, well, the economy is doing really poorly, so we don't have to focus on the intrigue of the Epstein files of a criminal, SA um, pedophilia ring. We don't have to work. We don't have to focus on that because the economy is so poor. But he's saying the economy is really good. So he has to lick Trump's boots by saying the economy is really good, and then he has to defend Trump by saying, "Don't look over here at the Epstein files." Most likely because Trump is implicated in some way. It's quite annoying and insulting, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to bring up the fact that people care about the Epstein files for one really strong reason, which we'll dig into.
one hand, I think you're right that it's kind of like a niche interest here, this Epstein thing, but the niche is Trump's base, people in Trump's base. But secondly, on the broader picture of what is happening in the country and how
You can even see his face. It's like he wants to laugh. He knows that he's playing a game. Like there's like a semi smirk there, like a quarter smirk. Maybe that's just how he normally looks, but I mean, it's really it's really something, and it's actually quite bizarre the argument that he's making. But like, look at his face there. It's mhm.
do Americans feel about it. CBS YouGov poll asked, how do you think things are going here in this country? 61% said very or somewhat badly. That's not exactly a great indictment of the Trump economy. And then on top of that, to what I was saying earlier, on the Epstein files, this is what Republicans want. 83% want the files released. So I think both of those things is part of why Trump is having a hard time right
Abby,
now.
I hope they release them.
They're
He'll
not,
still be dead.
Yeah.
He released
He will still be
He's
dead.
gonna be dead for a long time.
But Trump lives and dies on his base,
Yeah.
and the base.
There it is. It's right on cue. Tr- as if Epstein was the only one implicated, or Epstein was the only one who did anything wrong. I mean, it's really insulting. It's really insulting for him to say nobody cares about it because the guy who perpetrated this is dead. So we shouldn't care about the victims. We shouldn't care about their families. We shouldn't allow them to tell their stories. It's really gross. And I'm surprised and a little bit upset that nobody stops him in his tracks and calls him out on it every time he does it. They might call him out later, but they should stop him in his tracks. I mean, it's so insulting and degrading. Epstein's dead. Why are we talking about it? As if there's not hundreds of, possibly even thousands of lives of people being affected. And does anybody believe that Epstein is the only one that participated in such behavior? It's quite maddening.
right now is they're unsteady.
I don't understand why he hasn't released the files, as he said. It's one of the reasons I believe that they released today the files on Martin Luther King Jr., because now he's able to show, hey, look, I told you I was going to release the MLK file, the JFK file, and also the Epstein file. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know the reason why. Personally, I don't think people are going to find Donald in that file as much as they think that they're going to. That's just my personal opinion, kind of knowing him for a decade and a half. Nevertheless, I want to see the file. I'm sick and tired of all of the conspiracy theories that are popping up. If you are a detractor, yeah, he's guilty of something. If you are a supporter, he didn't do anything. This is all nonsense. How about just put the documents in front of the American people, release it, and let us then examine the documents, as we call it in law, documentary evidence. It'll speak for itself instead of listening to all the nonsense.
I would love for them to release the file.
As you saw there, that's Trump's former attorney. He served time in prison for dealing with Donald Trump or lying on his dealings with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump actually, his daughter was on a previous CNN show and basically was saying that Donald Trump was behaving weirdly around her, and she was a teenager at the time. So he was a serious Trump bootlicker. Then he went to jail, or maybe even prison, for a short period of time. And so he can't lick Trump's boots that hard anymore. But so now he's pretending that he's kind of down the middle and does have overt criticism of Trump. So he's not that strong of a bootlicker. And I mean, he really didn't say anything. He just said release the files. So that was kind of a wash, his commentary.
I am not at all in Trump's base. However, I care deeply about it because I'm not going to buy this argument that like these young girls were raped by what? By what? Did they rape themselves? No, they got raped by people who are in powerful positions. And I want to know how many of those individuals are currently serving in our government in some role or the other.
Average American awake for 18 hours a day. How many minutes do you think they spend worrying about this stuff? Maybe they were raped, maybe they weren't. This is not what American families give a damn about.
Just to be clear,
they just don't.
We do know.
We
do know.
I mean, that's a vile, vile dude. That's a vile dude. So if somebody's awake for 18 hours and they're not thinking about rape victims, then we shouldn't address it. If there was a poll and they asked American citizens, how many minutes in your 18-hour awake time every day do you think about the Epstein file? And the poll results say, on average, Americans think about it 2 seconds a day. Therefore, what? Therefore, we shouldn't pursue criminal charges. Therefore, we shouldn't investigate the crimes. It's like Anna said. So did they rape themselves? We shouldn't investigate the people in power who perpetrated these crimes, who very may well likely be doing it now. I mean, what he's saying it's not even an argument. And he scrunches up his face and keeps saying, don't give a damn, don't give a damn. Trying to like embed that in people's heads that Americans don't give a damn. I mean, it's really something. Like, he's not saying anything. Like, what kind of standard is that? How many hours a day do you think about this horrible crime? And he's implying that if it's low, then we shouldn't investigate it. It's crazy.
That there were victims,
know
so
that
that's
there were
not
victims.
speculative.
We do know that there were victims. And the thing is, people can compartmentalize, right? And the reason why people care about this a lot, not just because of the very real Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking and the crimes that were committed, it is the fact that Donald Trump himself spent years, him and his allies, promised their base, we are going to deliver the Epstein client list that's going to take down all of your Democratic enemies.
Bring it.
Yeah, well, yes,
Nobody
bring it.
gives a
Donald,
poop.
please. Donald,
Nobody
bring
gives
it.
a poop.
You don't give a poop, okay?
The
Other
polling
people do,
indicates-
including people like me
speak
who
on
want
behalf of the
justice.
majority of
And I
Americans.
want to know how many of those
Nobody
people are in our
gives
government.
I don't know about
poop
that. The poll
about
seems
this.
to show
Yeah,
something.
the poll
A lot of
substantially
Republicans
different than
do. I mean, look, on the MLK files, I mean, it's interesting because the family did not want this released in this way. And Bernice King, Dr. King's daughter, posted this on X not just a little while ago. Now do the Epstein files, as she says, with a photo of her father, because, you know, Trump's argument on the Epstein files is that, oh, people might get hurt by what's in this. He didn't seem to be that concerned about that when it came to the MLK
No,
files.
but Abby, they did warn the family that these things
Yeah,
are
they
coming down the
did.
pipeline and it's going to be released tomorrow. Aveda King came out in support of this.
Right, but
This lady has been on a couple times. She is a prime Trump bootlicker. Very difficult for her to speak against Donald Trump at all. You'll see it as evidence, and I haven't seen this, but it's very clear. She has her tape recorder. That's something that I've noticed, and I'll start to call that out more and more with these videos. These people, mostly overwhelmingly so Trump supporting people, they have a tape recorder. They hear a word, and then it's just like press play. You can predict what they're going to say. You can predict what their actions are going to be. You can even predict when they don't have anything to say, and they'll start doing personal attacks. She is definitely one of these people. Angie Wong.
she's a
loved.
Trump supporter.
She is a Trump supporter, but she was pure, transparency all day long. Let's go. So, so maybe the family split on this idea that these files are going to get released. Ultimately, I do want to know, who killed.
The family is not split if one person is in dissension. There's not two people in the family. So just because one person has come out and said that they did want the files released, that doesn't mean the family split.
Well, we know who killed him.
Listen,
which is,
I'm not suggesting that it should remain secret forever because there was a date by which this would be released, but the timing of this very moment, I think her implication here is that it is being used as a tool to distract.
Everything in politics is used as a tool. I mean, we have to be
Fair,
honest with it.
yeah.
For example, they turn around, they show this photo of Donald Trump's birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein. Is that not being used as a tool? Again, if you are a Trump supporter, you're saying, what does it mean? It has nothing to do with it. There's no evidence, there's no criminality. If you're a detractor, yeah, this just goes and it shows proof positive that Donald Trump was somehow involved in this thing. I keep saying, and people get angry at me, oh, why are you taking a knee? Why are you kissing Donald's ring? No, I'm not. I'm not defending him. I'm stating a fact that in the decade and a half that I was by the man's side, I never saw him doodle once. He's just not a doodler. I write.
This defense, this idea that if somebody is accused of something and a friend of theirs never saw them do it, the idea that that is somehow pertinent to the situation is just, it's incredible. It's asinine. Donald Trump is accused of doodling something, some kind of sexually overt or perverse birthday card to Epstein, or Epstein gave it to him. This guy is saying, oh, I've been Donald Trump's friend for 15 years and I never saw him doodle. Therefore, what? Therefore, that's evidence to show that Donald Trump didn't doodle that to Epstein? I mean, it's just, it's incredible how that is an actual argument. And he's a lawyer. And he did go to prison, so he must not be that great of a lawyer. That is not evidence of anything. Somebody's being accused of something, and a friend says, well, I never saw them do it. That's not evidence. Are you around him all the time? Do you know his relationship with Epstein?
On the paper.
I mean, we've been through this.
He didn't write it.
There are a lot
nor
of
did he
images
draw
that
it.
Donald Trump drew.
Yeah,
And,
none of those were drawn by him, by the way.
So who drew them?
I won't say, but I have two
All right,
guesses,
so
and I'm pretty
that's some
sure I'm
news here
100%
that
correct.
he auctioned off photos that he signed,
He
as
signed
his images that he did not draw.
Well, a lot of artists, I guess.
Okay,
I'm just-
a lot
just-
of artists do that.
I'm just being
Worst
clear.
case
But
scenario,
the
all
other-
this stuff's true. Does that in any way affect the American economy or what's going
No,
on with
There's
And-
more to life
and
than
listen,
the American economy.
who
There's
gives-
justice and the fact that we might have pedophiles serving in our government right
Oh
now
my
as we speak.
goodness,
that's the problem.
that's horrible. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what people care about is how do they feed their families and how the economy grows and take care of their futures. This stuff is poop on a stick. Nobody gives. I got to stop.
If we want to talk economy, which
Yeah, you have to stop, because he's a money guy. He's a Shark Tank guy, and you can make a lot of assumptions based on how he got his money. But to him, it's poop on a stick because he's a Trump bootlicker, and Trump's name is surrounding the Epstein files, and he's a tape recorder. When somebody says Epstein, he's click. Nobody cares. Poop on a stick. Economy, economy, economy. The fact that this guy is a multi-millionaire, and he woke up this morning and put on a suit and a tie, and CNN asked him to come on this show, and his only argument is to say nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about about potential sexual assaulters and rapers in the government because they care about putting food on their table and the economy, even though the economy is doing well. He's a troll. I've concluded this guy's a troll. Nobody worth nobody with any bit of intelligence could see his commentary on this particular subject and invite him on again. CNN is part of their job. CNN is to hire trolls, and this guy's one.
We will.
We should.
What is Trump
That's what
doing
matters.
other than providing absolute uncertainty, injecting all of this into the market? We have the bond markets here, trying to wonder whether or not the debt that's coming from the
Epstein,
big beautiful
dead guy
bill.
matters? No, he's dead.
The value
Tell
of the
that- tell that to his
the value
base.
of
He's
the
dead
dollar
tomorrow
went
morning.
down
I
10%.
guarantee he's dead tomorrow morning.
Tell that to the victims and his
Tell to the
base.
victims
Okay.
It's his base.
Every-
that
It's
cares.
his base that actually
It's his
wants
base
it,
that wants
even
it.
more than the Democrats. See, now what happens is the base is screaming for the documents. They're not getting it. All of a sudden, the Democrats, of course, are jumping into it and saying, hey, release it, release it, release it. And then the Republicans are now all on message saying the same thing, which is, well, you never wanted it before. Now all of a sudden you want it now. How about just do the right thing, do the easy thing, and then just release the file?
It's coming.
One quick thing for you, Michael. I mean, Trump sometimes overreacts to things like this. You don't think that the files probably have that much to do with Trump. Is he overreacting?
You know, I think he's getting bad advice from people that are within his circle. They're probably feeding to him, hey, you know, this could be damaging in this way. I believe he should just release the files, put an end to the conspiracy theories around it, and then let's just all move on.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Well, there you go. The
Agreed.
old person. All right.
There were so many other parts of this where Donald
We cut into another video there. That's really gross. Everybody agreed. And then again, with Michael Cohen, can't say anything bad about Trump. I thought he was kind of more in the middle. He's just doing his typical bootlicking. This was a prime example of trolls that they bring on this show. I'm not sure Kevin O'Leary's background in politics, aside from him being a millionaire and being on Shark Tank, so why they would bring him on to speak about potential Jeffrey Epstein and legal matters. Literally, all he said was "economy and poop on a stick," and that in fact is the title of the segment that CNN put on there. So I'll probably make that the title of this video. But absolutely disrespectful to the victims, absolutely disrespectful to the justice system, to the intelligence of the American people. Just because no one's thinking about it every single second, then we shouldn't be focused on it. Typical common Trump bootlicker. But it does make for a good political fodder. And guys, put your comments down. Do people care about the Epstein files? Should we focus on it? Is the economy actually doing well? And can we walk and chew gum at the same time? So catch me on the next video, and I appreciate the support.